Hey guys, and welcome to our first lecture video. This is on chapter 2 about the professional assistant. If you guys can grab a piece of paper and pencil before we start, I'm going to be asking questions throughout this lecture video that I would like for you guys to turn in and submit into the assignment titled Lecture Video Assignment, Chapter 2. All right, without further ado, let's jump in. It's going to be really short and sweet. Um, the professional dental assistant is one of my favorite topics because I think this is really important in getting you guys hired. The main reason that one of the main reasons why you're in school is to be hired at the end. So I want you guys to be hired. So let's talk about this a little bit. It's going to help a lot when it's time for you guys to go out on externship and when you're basically showing them how fast you learn and how great you are of an assistant, and most likely get hired at the end. Um, Here we go. So in the book there are key terms. You guys can look at those. It's only about 4 of them. But in this chapter, we will discuss why confidentiality is important in the dental office. We'll identify the purpose of HIPAA. We'll talk about characteristics of a professional dental assistant, and we'll talk about the educational requirements and career opportunities for educationally qualified dental assistants. And we'll also talk about the role and purpose of the ADAA and the DANB. Right? So dental assisting requires devotion, integrity, organization. Definitely have to be committed to continuing education. You just have to want it. You have to love it in order to be good at it, and definitely just be used to being like ahead of everything, or being good at anticipating the needs of your doctor, being a good team player, and all those good qualities. All right. So mainly becoming a dental assistant is basically learning skills, because this is a very hands-on field. And then having knowledge, because you're going to have to, of course, share that with your patients. And it is good to have knowledge, because when you go from office to office, you're basically building on this knowledge and making yourself more employable, and raising your potential for growth. Okay. In this chapter, they define professionalism as an attitude that is apparent in everything you say or do in or out the dental office. Of course, we recognize professionalism as an attitude when you are in an office or in a professional setting. But in this career, and definitely in this area, you want to make sure outside of the dental office that you're being just as professional, as much as you can. At least you don't want to be too crazy outside of the dental office, because these same people that you see in the community may be the same people that is at your office looking to get a filling done, and you don't want them to give you the side eye, pretty much. Okay. So characteristics of a professional dental assistant. Of course, a professional uh, dental system, dental assistant looks the part. Okay. You want to make sure your hair is neatly pulled back, or if you're a fella, or if you're a guy, you want to make sure that you have a fresh haircut. And I'm sorry, I'm talking really quick. I am from New Orleans, so some of the words and phrases that I use may be different, and I'm trying to change it up so that everyone can understand what it is that what it is I'm trying to say. So forgive me for that. I try to correct myself as you want to make sure that you have on clean smelling clothes or scrubs. You want to make sure it's ironed nicely. You want to make sure your scrub top is solid with matching top and bottoms, and that your shoes are clean. You definitely want to make sure you maintain good health, because you will be kind of running around your office a lot. There is a dental assistant stool or chair that is not a very big chair as well. And you just want to feel good while you're at work. You don't want to be in pain. You don't have, issues that cause you not to be able to perform to the best of your ability. And that is it for the characteristics of a dental assistant. So you guys do me a favor. I listed a bunch of characteristics, even outside of the ones listed at bullet point on here. Go ahead and write down on your paper for number 1, some characteristics that a professional dental assistant should possess, and make sure you write down characteristics that you possess already that you will use when you go out and when you go out on externship or when you get your first job. Okay. All right. We already talked about this part. Guys, you're really not supposed to have on acrylic nails. Book. The book says you're not supposed to have on acrylic nails. And honestly, I'm a woman, so of course I'm a little biased about this. I love having my nails done. But it's really not a good thing because you can potentially get, you can transfer things from having acrylic nails. So I would say if you guys are like me, you just can't help yourself, just make sure you have short nails on. It does not do you any good to go on to go out to an interview with long coffin nails. They most likely won't even hire you because you're not looking the part, right? That's a part of looking the part. So you want to make sure you have short nails if you're going to do acrylic, or just have your, just don't go overboard with it. Minimal jewelry. As a dental assistant, you would not wear hoop earrings. I used to love wearing hoop earrings. But ever since I became a dental assistant, I've gotten used to wearing studs, and I kind of like studs now, but you cannot wear big earrings at all in a dental office. If you think about it, have you ever went to an office and saw any of your dental assistants or anybody working on you with big hoop earrings or flashy jewelry or anything like that? You won't see it. So just make sure you have on minimal jewelry. Make sure you don't have on big earrings and things like that. And I will also probably steer away from wearing expensive jewelry because we glove and unglove a lot and we move around a lot, and you don't want to lose your expensive jewelry in a dental office. Clean shoes, of course. Press uniform, that's the iron uniform. Hair pullback, yes. That this is another issue. So another thing that you guys need to keep in mind, that when you're in a dental office, you're doing a lot of different procedures. You're kind of hovering over patients. You want to make sure that your hair is pulled back into a ponytail. If it's long hair, if it's past your neck, it needs to be in a ponytail. Also, you want to steer away from loud hair colors like bright reds, greens, purples, and blues. I know those may be fun if you're going on a cruise or something like that, but in a dental office, especially if you go out to an interview and you have this like loud color hair and stuff like that, they most likely won't hire you over another candidate. So you just want to keep that in mind. Okay. If you have tattoos, I love tattoos myself, but when it comes to getting hired in a dental office, you want to make sure that that's covered. So if you're gonna if you have any tattoos on your arm that are visible, you want to make sure you put on a long shirt under the scrub so that they won't see them. Um, and definitely keep in mind while you're going through the program, if you're a tattoo lover, to not get any more if it's going to be like on your arms and hands and or neck or stuff like that, because they just want their staff to look a certain way. To be honest, I'm just be real with y'all. They want you guys to look a certain way. So that is a part of professionalism. They just want you to look separate from, I guess, people in the community who are just having a good time with their tattoos and bright color hair and stuff like that, which is cool. But just in the office, you don't want to have that. And of course, good hygiene. You want to look clean. You want to smell good. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Oh, and patients do complain. So just make sure if you're going to be close on your patient, and of course, we're all adults, so we want to smell good anyways, but they will be the first to complain. Please don't think that you can go into the dental office and get away with smelling bad. That is not, they're going to definitely complain and say, hey, this was not pleasant because that assistant did not smell good. And that is so embarrassing for anyone to have to pull you to the side and say, hey, go fix that problem. So just keep that in mind, guys. So on your paper, I think we're on number 2 now. Go ahead and list some of the things that you'll be utilizing, or things that you'll be restraining yourself from doing now that you know more about the professional appearance of a dental assistant. Give me at least 3 things. Right? Okay, so in the office, everybody looks a bit different. Of course, you'll have on your PPE. Guys, by the way, you never walk around the office. You see how these ladies here have on all this gear? You'll never be walking outside of the outside of the room with the patient with all this stuff on. You have to take it out before you leave the room. And I think they just did it like this for picture purposes. You will look like this person here if you're walking outside of the treatment room. Okay. In the treatment room, you'll look like this. Outside of the treatment room, when you're walking around getting documents or whatever, you're gonna have to make sure you take all that PPE off. And also, as you go from room to room, your mask change and your gloves change. Okay. So knowledge and skills. So it is good for dental assistants to have both front desk and back office skills. Mainly, we focus in on back office skills because that's mainly what a dental assistant does. Normally, front desk is considered a receptionist, but we do have dental assistants who are cross-trained in front and back. So if the office wants to cross-train you, that is amazing because that's going to help you when you go on to say, hey, I can do front and back. That's going to make you more hireable. That's going to make your pay and your growth increase. So definitely don't shy away from learning new things. It's all about learning new things. Actually, when you're first starting out, it's all about learning new things. The more you learn, the more you make, more money you make, the more you grow. Okay, more opportunities. And you just want to have that confidence to be able to say that I can do this, this, and that. So learn as much as you can. You learn here in school, but when you go out into the office, it's a whole new ball game. It's more, it's more to learn. So just be on top of that, especially as you go from office to office, everything may change. Like every place is different. Okay, so we do kind of touch on some front desk stuff such as charting, but that's also a back office duty anyways. How to schedule appointments. Some offices in the back have the assistant schedule appointments, so you learn things like that. But I think what they mean by front desk will be insurance, and that's something that we don't teach you guys here at school, but you'll learn it when you get to the office. And insurances are pretty easy to do if you have any insurance background. All right. And the reason why they like for assistants to be cross-trained is because if you know front and back, if the front team member is having to leave early because emergencies and things happen, right? They'll need somebody to cover for that person. And it's great to have an assistant who already knows like what they're doing and can run the front and the back. Okay. And some doctors even have some offices only hire one assistant. So hold on, sorry. Let me call you right back. I'm in the middle of a lecture. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Um. So So yeah, that's that. Okay. I'm sorry. Answer the phone. All right. Okay. So teamwork, y'all. This is so important too. Because when you're a part of a good team, your whole day, I kid you not, it goes by so smoothly. But if you're part of a team that's having so much like friction and trauma and nobody wants to work together, that makes you miserable all day. You don't get much accomplished. And you don't have a good day at work because, every day you guys have to see each other every day. So why not become more like family than enemies? So just try your best at every point to keep everything positive, to focus more on work and not try to go in deep with people and learn them personally and all this and that. Try your best to keep it surface, keep it as work. Like we make a good work team. We don't need to know anything else about each other at this point but work. So just try your best to keep it as work. And some people you just meet and you just become friends forever. That's fine. But try your best to keep that work mindset because that keeps everything um, going smooth. And another thing with teamwork is say you're not good at impressions, but somebody else is, and but you're better at X-rays. And right now, your coworker is having to do X-rays, and you're having to do impressions. But you guys are both better at the opposite thing. You can say, "Hey, today's pretty busy. How about we switch these roles? How about I do this and you do that? Let's make it go smoothly since we're really busy. And then on a slower day, I'll practice more on this, and you can practice more on that." So when you have that type of relationship with your coworker, it just makes everything so much better. So definitely keep that in mind. I just remember something. Give me 1 second. I have a meeting at 2. All right. So patients, coworkers, and employers appreciate the dental assistant for his good attitude, of course. So everybody wants to work with somebody who has a good attitude. If you are just nasty, rude, and mean, nobody wants to be around you, and then most likely the office will fire you, and they don't have a reason as to why. I know you guys probably know that already. They don't have to have much of a reason to let you go. So just keep that in mind, just to keep a good attitude. I know sometimes and some days it gets really hard when you're really busy and you're tired. So just keep that in mind. Okay, just try your best to redirect that energy. I know you're human. So if you need a moment, go into the restroom, go wash your hands or something, take a few deep breaths and then go back out. Because some days in the dental office can be really hectic. That's not every day, depending on where you go. I personally love offices that stay busy all day long because it makes the day go by fast and I have fun. If I have to do a bunch of tasks at once, which is why I love my job here so much, I have so many things to do at once and it's like multitasking all day long. I love that. It keeps me going. It keeps me from getting bored. So if you're like me, you're going to want to find a fast-paced office and most likely that's going to be a pediatric office. Okay. Just FYI. But try to keep your attitude at bay if you struggle with attitude issues. All right, dedication. So what will definitely help you in the future and make you a good dental assistant and make you um, and set you apart from everybody else is your dedication. You have to care. That's just it. You have to care about patients. You have to care about the office, and you have to care for your team. You got to want to see things run smoothly. So and just keep everything positive. And right, sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages from students at this time. All right, responsibility and initiative. So of course you'll arrive on time. You volunteer to help if you can. Be willing to learn. Officers love people that want to learn because that means that they can teach you more, and they'll definitely want to keep you on their team longer. And next thing you know, you're training others and getting to do things, having more opportunities open up for you. Okay. Definitely find things to do. So anytime you have free time in the office, you really don't have free time. You have to find you something to do, whether it's stocking rooms, preparing trays, calling patients, organizing. So just always find something to do. You never want the doctor to walk by and see you sitting down, not doing anything. Or if you're sitting down on the computer doing your notes and stuff, that's different. But you just never want to be looking like as if you're not doing anything. So that is definitely a part of being a professional assistant even on externship, I always tell my students you should always be doing something or learning something. Every moment spent on externship is valuable. That's their time to show you more, to teach you more. So don't let that moment pass you by without taking full advantage of it. Okay. And definitely a part of being a professional dental assistant. Never discuss your personal problems. Never discuss your hardships with the patients or with the staff. I do see this a lot when I would used to train externships. When I used to train externs, they would come in, and I understand that they're human and they're people, but they would come in and tell so much of their personal business, tell so much of whatever they're going through, and it's like, I'm sorry this is going on, but this is not the time. It makes everything so awkward because you're just meeting this individual, you know nothing, you really want to show them about their night job, which might be I had a girl tell the whole office on externship that she was a stripper. Why do we need to know that? You know what I mean? Or saying like about, just their personal lives, and if it's if it's not positive, if it's an issue or problem, I would just keep it to myself. Because honestly, guys, they really don't care. They just want to train you. Or it's not that they don't care. It's like they don't know you personally enough to really have that compassion. And honestly, being in the office is not the right time. It's just not the right time. And I'm sure those people or those individuals who like to share so much of their personal problems have family members, have friends who actually know them and can help them through the situation, other versus strangers, people you're just meeting. So definitely y'all keep it on a professional level. They don't need to know your personal. Okay. Confidentiality, which is kind of what HIPAA is about. You don't want to tell all your patients' business. You don't want to even discuss their first you don't even want to call them by their first and last name when you call them back. So it'll either be Mrs. Jones or Miss Tasha, or whatever the first name is of the patient. But you never want to say, Tasha Jones, we're ready for you. You never want to say that first and last name. So you have to keep everything confidential. You don't want to disclose too much of their private information. Okay, so basically the first bullet point says everything in the dental office must remain confidential. Okay, breaches of confidentiality can result in lawsuits against all involved, and this is why we keep it confidential, because that could uh, backfire on us. Okay? You never say patient. If you see the story, your husband, or you don't discuss that patient. You can say hello, but you don't discuss their personal information, because that could result in a lawsuit. Okay. So it says review your personal qualities. How do I interact with patients? So you got to look at yourself. Am I friendly? Do I listen? Am I courteous? Do I control my my temper? So just make sure you check yourself at all times. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. Like if you're going throughout the day and your day started off smooth and then you get towards the end and you start to get moody, check yourself. Check yourself. Oh, I could do better. I can go back in there and I can turn this around. You know what I mean? So just try your best to stay looking and seeming, not looking and seeming, but to stay professional. Okay. So dental assistants, of course, you have to go through a program to become a dental assistant, right? Takes about 8 months to do this. And then you have to take what is called your board exam, or your RDA exam. It's for a registered dental assistance exam at the end, right? After you take that exam, we send in paperwork to the Texas State Board of Dental Assisting to get your license. Okay, and then you're pretty much done and you're off to get a job if you haven't been hired on externship, and then the school helps you in that job search. Okay. So here's some of the opportunities that you have once you become a dental assistant. You can work in a private practice. You can work in a group practice, which will be more like a corporate, which will be like a Brighton. You see them everywhere. Decadental and stuff like that. That would be more of a group practice. You could work in a specialty office. So a specialty office, there, and you guys will learn about the many different um, categories of dental assisting, like endodontics, orthodontics, and stuff like that. When they say a specialty practice, they mean that office only does one thing. So instead of going to a general office where they do everything, fillings, composites, root canals, extractions, a specialty office would just focus on root canals. Get those patients where offices refer them and say, hey, I can't do this root canal, but your doctor can, because all he does is root canals. So he's a specialty doctor. He specializes in root canals, or specializes in orthodontics, which is braces, or extractions, or oral surgery. I'm sorry, or oral surgery, which is extractions. You can be a financial coordinator. That is most likely working either in a billing setting, which I used to do, I enjoyed it, or working for an office. Just scheduling coordinator. Some group practices or corporate practices for dental they hire people just to schedule patients. So you can get that type of job if you have your RDA license. I used to work for Rodeo Dental HQ, so I worked in the corporate office. I was a biller, so I used to do billing, and I would bill out for all the Rodeo Dental offices. I think I had like 3 or 4 offices in Houston that I used to run and bill for. So you could do stuff like that, and that is located here in Fort Worth. So if you ever want to look into that, you can. Or at the end of this, if you're interested, just ask me, and I can get with one of my friends who's the boss over there, and she can see if they have any openings for a new hire. Public health dentistry, hospital dental clinics like JPS. They have like a dental office in the hospital, and they actually pay pretty well. So many places. Or you could work at a dental school like I do. So it's different things that you can get into. You can even become like a salesperson for different dental materials. So, and y'all, let me tell you this. Let me encourage you right quick. Once you get through this program is in such high demand. I get so many calls on people looking for either externs or to hire people, but I don't have anybody to send them because I don't have that many like my graduates get hired so quick, so I don't have anybody to send them. So that's the problem I'm having. I'm having the people to send out. So if you are a person that's on your stuff, that follow and listen what I'm saying, you can do well. I have a student. She just got out of school 3 or 4 months ago. She's already the lead assistant at her office. Like, you just have to want it. You have to stay on top of it. You can't like slack off easily, because I have people that are I don't want to say lazy, but not, they don't have get up and go. That's what my mom calls it, get up and go. All my whole life, she would always be on me about having something called get up and go. And what she meant by that is getting up early, getting yourself prepared, doing everything you need to do, not procrastinating, and just learning, from each experience and going forward better and better and better. So you got to be one of those devoted individuals that's just organized and ready to go. All right. Other career opportunities: insurance companies, teaching, dental assisting, or dental project salesperson. That's what I just talked about. Okay. Salaries, guys, they vary. Right out of school, they seem low at first, but I do get a lot of students who also get paid well too. So it's like a 50-50 depending on where you go. But don't even worry about that. If that is your issue right out of school, like, dang, I'm not getting paid as much as I want to get paid right off the bat, give yourself 6 months to a year and apply somewhere else. Or try to go through the company you're already with. And if they don't increase it, apply somewhere else. All you have to do is update that resume, go on the interview, tell them all this stuff that you know and learn, and then that should be your ticket. And then also, in this area, there's so many dental offices, y'all. It's bananas. Like, you'll be okay. Trust me, you'll be okay. Just wait and see to the end. All right, and yes, your salary does depend on your skills, abilities, and responsibility of your position that you're having. But if you apply all the things that we just discussed about being a professional assistant, a professional dental assistant, you will definitely grow in this field faster than normal. I'm a living witness to that. Um, Professional organization. So the ADAA, it's a Dental Assistants Association. It's basically like a how they have like groups, or like if you're interested in the same thing, you're a part of a group. So it's just a organization that I'm sorry, that just keeps you on top of everything in the dental assisting world, pretty much, and helps with continuing education. All right. And this is actually the founder of that organization. Founder. All right. And that's what the seal looks like. All right. So there are many benefits of it. You get to grow professionally. Of course, you have an opportunity to attend the meetings and participate in workshops, earn CE credits, and hear prominent speakers. And you get to meet people that are also dental assistants. I am personally not a part of this group, but if you want to join it, go right ahead. Enjoy that. That is a good thing. Dental Assistant National Board, the DAMB. They come up with the things you need to be a certified dental assistant. Okay, they are in charge of the credentialing of that. So you have to take an exam to become a part of that, and that is it. All right, any questions on this? If you have any questions, definitely feel free to call me or text me. And I think I only asked you guys 2 questions about this video. Next time I may just go ahead and prepare my questions before I dive in. That way it can be a bit more, I can have more questions to add than what I did today. All right, guys, I'm gonna save this and upload it into Canvas for y'all. Thank you, bye.